I had just gotten to a point that we all get to. You hear it everywhere. Anytime you talk to an addict, that just bottomless pit, they can't take no more. They're exhausted. And I had a couple suicide attempts previous years.
Because every bottom has a trap door.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It is bottomless.
Yeah, I mean, multiple suicide attempts, and I'm like, let me go open this window, right? Let me dig a little bit deeper. Let me just make it a whole lot worse, because that wasn't bad enough. But I called my mom, and I was like, I can't do this. It was in a drunken stupor, by the way. I had no recollection of making this phone call, and then all of a sudden, like, just a moment was like, you're tired. I heard this really cool quote by James Hollis. He said, yesterday's truths are tomorrow's prison, right? And I don't want to be bound to yesterday's truths. Like, I want to keep growing. I want to keep learning who I am. That's why I do races, or I go exploring, or I travel, or even like celebrate surrounding myself with people who have lofty goals and dreams.
This is the Recovery Guide podcast with Michael Herbert, where powerful stories and actionable insights empower individuals on their recovery journey to build resilience and make a lasting impact. I'm glad you're here, so let's get started. Today our guest was Danielle Sharpe. She moved from Colorado to Florida to pursue her recovery. Danielle comes from what some would call a dysfunctional family, what I would call a family in crisis. And she moved out of the crisis, came to Florida to pursue recovery. She was able to grab onto recovery, hold on tight, and now it's a part of who she is in her life. Danielle is an adventurer, a traveler, a triathlete. She supports others in their athletic ability. She engages in the 12-step world, and she also has recovered her role as a mom. So she's got a powerful story, and we're going to hear all about it today. Have you ever done a podcast?
I've never done, never done.
This is your first time?
Yes, that's why I'm like panicked. So I went through all of the emotions the past like week and a half, and I've picked up the phone to text you to tell you I'm canceling 14 times. I've written it out, then deleted it, then written it out, and then deleted it.
Now, did you watch any podcasts as a result of it? Or do you listen to
I listen to podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. So in my head, I'm like, these people on these podcasts I'm listening to, they're very like eloquent with their words. They have such philosophical thinking and the way that they present things. Like
the guest, Like,
what does Michael Herbert want to talk to me about?
I worry about being a host.
Oh, really?
Because I listen to all these hosts that seem to ask all the right questions.
Right.
And I wonder if I'm asking the right questions. But then I have to assume the position of a host.
Yeah.
The assumptive position is I am a host, I am a great podcaster, and that's just the way it is, just like you are a great guest. And all you're doing is talking about you, the life you know.
Right.
So I'm not asking you to talk about Andrew's life or neuroscience or air pollution. I'm just asking you to talk about Danielle Sharpe.
Yeah. And I think this is where like the benefits of like recovery come in, is that I can recognize it's my ego. It's like,
okay, hold on. Here's what we don't do. Here's what we're not going to do.
Ooh, tell me.
We're not going to talk anymore because we're losing all the good stuff.
Oh, we've been recording.
Oh, have you been recording?
I recorded it all. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. So this is great. Are you serious? Because we can just we can just
red
keep
lights?
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I don't want to look that way. Now I'm like, is my face turning red? Wait.
Yeah. But what were you saying about recovery? This is recovery.
Yeah. It's oh my God. I'm so embarrassed. I looked over and I saw myself. No, it's just part of recovery is like leaning into the hard stuff, right? Leaning into the discomfort. And like I was the past couple weeks, like in my attempt to cancel on you, in my head, it's like my ego's telling me, because I listen to so many different podcasts, you're not going to speak eloquently. What do you have to say? And like the cool thing about recovery and like all of the therapeutic work, clinical work that I've done and self-discovery is that I can recognize it's the ego and that like.
And what is this word eloquent you keep using? What do you mean you're not going to speak eloquently?
I feel like when I talk, my words come out jarbled and I talk in circles and it makes no sense. And it's this false belief that I have nothing to say.
Because you haven't done that in this conversation at all.
Oh, thank you.
You've come across, you haven't talked in circles. I understand everything you say. It's very clear.
Yeah.
You know, so I wonder what that is about, that you come up with that versus you're a great speaker, I can do this, no problem at all. It's almost like, sometimes in recovery, it's almost like a false humility that I can't acknowledge what I'm really good at, you know, because then I'm bragging. And the truth is, we do a lot of really good things and a lot of really good things naturally.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, we don't take credit for the things that come easy for us. We only give credit to the things that come hard to us.
Right. You have to earn it.
Yeah. And I believe if we could only acknowledge equally what comes easy to us and our talents, our self-esteem would be that much higher.
I agree.
You know, because we're always looking for the hardest thing to do, and we only get credit for the hard. And a lot of the hard things we do, sometimes we're not successful at it.
Yeah.
But the things that we do easily, that come naturally to us, we're very successful at it. But it's almost like if I tell you that's a nice shirt, oh, I got it on sale.
Yeah, we always minimize it, and we're like, oh no, I don't deserve that compliment. So this weekend, one of my really, really close friends, she just ran the Miami Marathon. And so when I hear you talk about like celebrating wins and like celebrating even the small things, the things that don't require, you know, endless hours of training, constant pain and discomfort, you know, just the natural things. So hearing the word celebrate reminds me that like a big thing that I was working with last year was like celebrating other people in the big wins, in the small wins. And so I got to experience that first. I mean, this was a big win, right? Yeah. Like 26.2 miles. It's a lot.
26.2 miles.
26.2 miles of running through Miami it's a tall order, right? And so she's put in the work, the grit, the training, the discipline, and I run races myself. So to be on the other side and being the one that's like cheering people on and supporting, it was so much fun celebrating these people who they'd run by looking miserable, and I'm screaming and I'm like, hey, smile, you're having so much fun, right? And you could just see their smile. Yeah,
and you know what I also have learned to celebrate? Not only the win, not only the end of the race.
The failures.
But the work that I did, the training.
Yeah.
Because the training is what gets you to the end. And it's the consistent training, going back out there when it's raining, when it's too hot, when you don't feel like it, because you have this goal, and you have to do the training to be successful.
Yeah.
And so the training is as valuable as the race day.
Absolutely.
And the end of the race. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I'll tell you one other thing about racing before. I did a race. It was 155 miles through the Sahara Desert. It was a marathon a day for 4 days.
That sounds
and
awful.
58 miles on the 5th day.
Oh, my gosh.
I was 183 people started, 117 finished. I was 114 out of 117, so I was the 4th slowest. But my claim to fame was I beat the youngest kid. He was from Korea. He was 19 years old.
Yeah.
So at least I beat the 19-year-old.
Yes.
And I
Impressive.
did 137 miles in aperitivas because after the first 18 miles, my feet swelled so much, I couldn't wear my shoes. So I completed the race, went home, and watched Showtime. I was watching Showtime. This was my big accomplishment. I completed this race. And then I'm seeing these guys who ran every day for like 100 days.
Yeah.
And the first thing I said, oh, shit, I didn't do that much. I only ran for 4 days. These guys are doing it. And so I was so quick to discount my hard work almost as it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And I'm learning in recovery, is trying to figure out when is enough is enough. Why can't why can't I have enough money? Why can't I have enough happiness, enough spirituality, enough friends without always seeking more?
Right.
Why is more better?
Right. The hungry ghost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The hungry ghost.
So, how long are you in recovery?
Oh, God willing, on March 23rd, I'll have 14 years. So I've been in recovery for 13 years.
So, and I'm gonna make a little point of what you just said. God willing.
Mm-hmm.
God is always willing.
Yeah.
So it's not even necessary to say that. God willing, like God. Oh, God has decided.
I think it's a AA like recovery community thing where you grab on to the sayings.
It almost sounds
and
like
then just make it a part of it, so it just comes out so effortlessly.
Yeah, but it almost sounds like, again, it's kind of that humility thing. If God is willing, I'll have 14 years. It really has nothing to do with me.
Right.
But it has everything to do with you.
You're right.
That you are making a decision to stay clean and sober.
Right.
You're making a decision to do the work, just like if you made the decision to pick up crack.
Correct.
Or I don't know what your drug of choice was, whatever it was.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, more. Yeah,
Yes,
that's my
all
drug
of
of
it
choice
and
was
lots
more.
of it.
Yeah. And so oftentimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for the work that we do. We, kind of give it up to God, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I believe, at least from my recovery, I'm working in tandem with God. Mm-hmm. So we're doing this, we're tag team, and we're doing this thing together. So I can get credit for the work that I've done. And usually when I feel grateful, I really give the gratitude to God. That's... this was God here,
right.
But I do give myself credit.
Right.
The other thing that, part of what I wanted to talk with you about, which stands out for me about you, where I wish more people in recovery would state this, proclaim this, own this as part of recovery, is all the things that you do outside of sitting around a church basement, raising your hand and talking about this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. You're out there in the world.
I am.
Running marathons, climbing mountains, doing all kinds of stuff. And all of that stuff is as equal as a therapy session.
Yeah.
As going to a meeting. All of that stuff is recovery, but we have a tendency to present recovery as doing the 12 steps and sitting at a meeting and talking to my sponsor.
Yeah.
But all of this other stuff is what that has allowed me to do. And that stuff that's out there, at least for me, allows me to stay in the rooms.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't do mountain climbing or my adventure stuff, I probably wouldn't stay. What would be the point of staying clean? If staying clean was sitting around in a meeting, I'm gonna sit with these people, rambling on about my life and what's going wrong or what's going right about it. I need to be out there in the world. So can you talk to me a little bit about when did you make that transition? Or has it always been a part of your life and you almost recovered your action, adventure, sports life?
Mm-hmm. I think it's the latter of what you said. I think it's me recovering a piece of me that had gotten lost in my addiction and my alcoholism. The thought, don't get me wrong, like the rooms and the community have built my foundation, right? And they are an integral part of my entire recovery system. And they're home base. Like I'll always go back if I need some sort of support. But it literally set a stage for me to go and experience life, right? Like I didn't get sober to let life live me. I got sober to experience life and all that life has to offer, right? The tough times, the good times, the adventurous times, the lonely times, times in solitude, times in deep connection with others. being raised in Colorado, you know, we're out in the mountains, like we're out in the pastures, right? I grew up on a farm. My grandparents.
Wait a minute, a farm.
Yeah,
what,
I
you
swear to
have
God.
cows? And,
Great. Yeah, I swear to God. Cows, pigs, chickens, you know. And
you
then
feed the pigs?
Yeah, I tried to ride them. They're not fun. They're not nice. They're mildly aggressive. So, yeah, like raised on a farm, and then both my grandparents had a farm as well, and they were produce farmers. So, you know, just being out in nature and being out in the world was something that helps me feel alive, and it helps me feel grounded and connected and centered.
Now, were you supposed to be a farmer? Were you
I
raised
think
to be a farmer?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think I missed my
expected you
calling.
with okay. Yeah.
I think they were kind of disappointed that I didn't follow their path, but no, there was never any expectation for any of us to be farmers by then. By the time I was born, you know, both my grandparents had retired, and my grandparents were very much like my parents because both my parents had their own struggles, alcoholism, addiction. Both are sober now. Both are leading beautiful lives. But
so let me just back up. Both of your parents had addiction history. Mom too.
Yep.
And your mom's Asian.
Yes, she is.
So there's a low number.
Yeah.
At least in working in the
they
field.
keep it all secret.
Oh, they keep it a secret. Okay.
We sweep it under
so
the
their
rug.
numbers are high, but nobody talks about it.
Nobody knows about it. Nobody knows about it.
Because in New York, the Asian population seemed to have a higher with nicotine and gambling than drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
So what was that like for you being raised with two addicts?
It was tough. It was really tough. I felt very small, very unseen, very scared.
How many siblings?
I have two younger sisters. So
okay,
I
so
also,
you're the oldest.
Yeah, so I also in some sense assumed the role of the parent because our two parents were unable to be parents at the time. You know, and it took a long, long time. I played the victim card, and you know, I was like, if you had the life I lived, you would act the way I did. You know, all the things that we hear in the rooms, right?
What did you give yourself excuses to do?
Anything and everything.
Like?
Be an asshole, go steal, go punch someone in the face, go do copious amounts of drugs and alcohol. You aren't going to stop me. Do you know who I am? Do you know how I was raised? Do you know what I've seen and been through? I get a pass.
Yeah.
Like I was so entitled. Entitled.
And you get a pass to do things. And on some level, you don't take responsibility for what you do.
Yeah. None.
You've been arrested?
Yeah, of course.
Ooh. Tell me about that.
It was not fun. It was 19. I had gotten a DUI. I mean, and like this is the official arrest, right? I had been up for a week, and we were leaving a house where a friend's boyfriend was just being extremely violent and like attacking us, and I blew a red light and pulled out in front of someone, and I almost killed myself, my passenger, and the person I pulled out in front of. And I woke up in an ambulance handcuffed to the stretcher, and they're screaming at me that I was gonna go to jail for vehicular homicide because I killed two people. So it was like absolutely terrifying. But you know, to back up just a little bit, my mom, her drug addiction brought the police and SWAT and everybody into our home. So, you know, previous to that, there were definitely like other arrests, but that was like my first official take me to jail experience.
And your mom and dad were farmers?
No.
Or their parents were?
So my mother's parents were produce farmers, and my dad just owns a huge amount of land out in Colorado and has cattle. So he didn't know he wanted to be a farmer until he got sober. And then he started buying a bunch of cows and turned into a farmer. I don't know.
Okay. So where did you get sober? How did you just stop? Did you go to AA or
No.
what'd you do?
Yeah. So in Colorado, at the time when I got sober, there wasn't a lot of resources. I personally thought sober meant not doing drugs, right? I had no idea that like not drinking was part of the equation, that was abstinence-based sobriety. So I had just gotten to a point that we all get to. You hear it everywhere. Anytime you talk to an addict, that just bottomless pit, they can't take no more. They're exhausted. And I had a couple suicide attempts, previous
let me tell you
years.
something. I like bottomless pit versus hitting a bottom.
Yeah.
Because every bottom has a trap door.
Yeah,
so
of course.
it is bottomless.
Yeah, I mean, I multiple suicide attempts, and I'm like, let me go open this window, right? Let me dig a little bit deeper. Let me just make it a whole lot worse, because that wasn't bad enough, right? But so I don't know what it was that night, but I called my mom, and I was like, I can't do this. It was in a drunken stupor, by the way. She called me the next morning. She's like, you ready to go to treatment? I was like, what? I had no recollection of making this phone call. And then all of a sudden, like, just a moment was like, you're tired.
And your mom had stopped using by then?
Yeah, she had entered the rooms herself.
Okay.
And at that point, we didn't have a great relationship. I was very verbally abusive to her, because again, it was that victim, you wronged me, my life is a mess because of you, not because I take responsibility for my actions and my decisions, right? So I called her, and then, it started the path, and I went to the hospital. They're like, we can't treat you here. So we started calling everywhere, and I ended up admitting to a psychiatric unit, one that I had visited previously.
Okay.
And they helped place me in a 28-day program in Colorado.
Okay. What did they diagnose you as?
All the things: PTSD, alcoholism, addiction, complex trauma, depression, all these. I had every diagnosis you can think of. And, when I got in there again in Colorado, the idea is that, if you stop doing drugs, you're sober. So I minimized the amount of alcohol that I was drinking. I thought it was completely normal to drink a liter of vodka every day, right? Like, that was normal, right? Because everybody around me in my hometown drinks. And,
sure.
And benzodiazepines are fine because they were given to me by a doctor, and regardless if I'm crushing them up, snorting them in 6 at a time, right? They're prescribed by a doctor, so it's okay. But so I get to this treatment center, and I'm having seizures left and right from alcohol and benzo withdrawal. And, I attribute a lot of my recovery to this treatment center because they told me they weren't the answer. They said, we'll give you some tools, we'll help you along, get you guided in the right direction, but we're not going to fix you. You have to take responsibility for your own recovery. You should go to the rooms, you should go to Florida for sober living, do all the things, right? All the first year things. I followed none of the directions when I got down here, got really miserable in sobriety and wanted to I was having suicidal ideation. I'm like, I didn't get sober to feel like this. I didn't. And then, that pushed me into the rooms to doing the steps, doing all the things, right?
So that's, I really like that treatment center telling you that.
Yeah.
Because all they can really do is provide stabilization.
Yeah.
Get you stable, and then there's work for you to do.
Yeah.
And even in that stabilization, they talk about post-acute withdrawal. Those are sobriety-based withdrawal symptoms.
Right.
So you're going to feel miserable.
Yeah.
Even after you're stable on some level.
Correct.
Depending on the drug and depending on your person, could be for up to 2 years. You can have that kind of misery. And that's why, even the Guardian program realizes we got to go to detox, to residential, to PHP, to IOP, to OP. So now we're talking about engaging with a person if they do what they're supposed to do,
months.
Even up to 18 months.
Yeah.
Because I personally believe the first year is discovery.
Oh, yeah.
Not recovery. So we are discovering some things.
Yep.
We are practicing some things. We're being consistent with some things. And once we're consistent with those things, then we can call it recovery.
Yes.
So it sounds like they sent you on your way.
They did.
And you did your halfway house in Florida.
I did.
You went to your meetings. You got a sponsor.
Yeah.
How did you deal with the complex trauma and all that came along with your addiction?
So I love what you said about the first year being a discovery phase, because that's literally what it was for me. Like, my first year of sobriety was discovering, like, you know, I didn't really connect like a diagnosis code to like what actually like happened in my past. It was more so this like, just don't use, right? Like, just get rid of the obsession. And then as like I started, you know, growing in that first year, it was like finding out these things about myself. So really it was year 2 where I actually, like the emotional sobriety year, is where I started actually facing some of the like complex trauma issues, you know, the lack of self-esteem, these really poor coping mechanisms, right? Because I, at year 2, was still fighting life. Like, I was still fighting as if I was surviving, you know, because that's what my like teenage life looked like. I was just trying to survive, right? Living out on the streets, growing up in trap houses, running amok, you know, hanging around with violent criminals. You know, I'm out there surviving. And so I took that into my sobriety, and then at year 2, and I'm like, I don't have to fight like this. It was such an eye-opening, like, wow, you're not living. Like, you're still surviving. And that hurt my heart so bad. And I actually like got really, my whole like, I'm just going to give up. I'm going to take my life and get out of here. Right. Like, so selfish.
Yeah.
So selfish.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm starting to almost get chills because I'm imagining, because I see you now.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining this little girl.
Yeah.
Who's kind of out there.
Yeah.
In this world of people who don't give a shit about her. She doesn't give a shit about her. And the positions you as a young woman have put yourself in, life has put you in, addiction has put you in, and you literally have to survive.
Yeah.
Take it, almost deny it, just to get through. Because if you spent time thinking about it, it would crush you.
It would crush me.
And
utterly crush me.
It is like a war out there for addicts and alcoholics who are out there in the streets. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing easy about it. There's no, because your brain has been taken over by the drug.
Yeah.
Love of family, responsibility, all of that is out the window.
Right.
Because you got to get more.
Safety, security.
You got to get more. And I don't care if I'm sleeping on a dirty mattress. I don't care who I'm sleeping with. I don't care what I'm doing to get more. The goal is just to get more.
Correct.
And how do the worst thing is running out.
Oh my God.
And then after being in life.
Even like, you saying that, I still have the sinking feeling. I can remember it.
Well, I got to tell you, I could remember putting my ATM card in the ATM machine and
Michael, you had an ATM card? I didn't even have an ATM card.
Oh, I had an ATM card.
I was robbing people going to the ATM cards.
And you couldn't get any more money.
Oh.
And the sinking feeling, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
When you run out, you're like, what is there to do?
Yeah.
Because addiction had been so much a part of everything in my life. If I wasn't using, what is there to do?
Right. Who am I?
Yeah. Where should I go? What is there to do?
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what I uncovered in, years 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to today.
Did you go to therapy or did you do any retreats? Or?
Yeah. I did a whole bunch of therapy, intense therapy. So inner child work, trauma work, breath work, brain spotting, EMDR. I mean, and this has progressed. So I started therapy in my 2nd year. I'm coming into my 14th year and I've done therapy since then. So 12, 13 years of therapy. And I still go.
And I got to tell you, there is no way that I think you can really get the full benefits of what recovery is without some form of therapy to go along with your 12-step participation, your diet, your exercise, medication is needed.
Yep.
and connection to good people.
Yes.
You got to
Yes.
have all of it. Not one thing works, or
No,
you're
you
limited.
can't do just one.
Yeah, I know people who just go to therapy.
It's a full package
yeah,
deal.
who just go to therapy that aren't getting it. And I know people who just go to 12 steps that just aren't getting it.
Yeah.
It's the inclusion of all of those things that really brings out the fullness of the recovering person's life. At least that's the way it's been for me.
Yeah, that's been my experience as well. It's a full package thing. Like I said, I still go to therapy, not because I need it like I did in the beginning, but I enjoy going. I enjoy and I love the self-discovery process. Sure. I love meeting my edges. I love being curious. Like even in discomfort, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling a little... The past couple weeks, I'm like, it's curious. You're really scared. This is what's coming up. And I get to meet new versions of myself, right? And anytime I meet an edge, and if I can walk past that edge, like I'm a new person, right? I heard this really cool quote by James Hollis. He said, yesterday's truths are tomorrow's prison, right? And I don't want to be bound to yesterday's truths. Like I want to keep growing. I want to keep learning who I am. That's why I do races, or I go exploring, or I travel, or even like celebrate surrounding myself with people who have lofty goals and dreams, right? Like the people who you look at and you're like, wow, you're fucking crazy, but like you're doing some cool shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're ever going to accomplish what you're shooting to accomplish, but like good for you. Like those people are so contagious and I love being around them. And the ones that are willing to do the hard stuff, right? Do the work, like especially with like training, right? It takes a lot of grit to take your ass out on a bike, for 4 hours at a time, or to get up on a Sunday morning when you could easily sleep in and run for 20 miles, sure. Right? Like it takes a lot of determination, and sometimes it's just putting one foot in front of the other.
It literally is putting one foot in front of the other. It's not about getting motivated to doing it.
No, it's just get your ass out of bed and do it.
Get your ass out of bed and do it. The motivation happens as a result of doing it. So as a result of doing some hard work, then I feel motivated. I don't feel motivated and then do hard work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You do hard shit. You feel really good about yourself.
Yeah. Oh, let me ask you a question. I want to bring you back to what we started with.
Yeah.
You were talking about how you were going to cancel this. You weren't going to follow through because you were projecting on how do you think you're doing so far?
I don't know. I've kind of just let it go, and I'm hoping for the best. I think I'm okay.
I was hoping that you would say, I'm doing just great.
I'm great. I feel a lot calmer. I've pushed past an edge. I'm meeting a new version of myself, and it's fun. Like,
this
I'm
is exciting.
Actually enjoying myself more than I thought I would. I thought I was going to be like this the whole time. Like, oh my God, don't look at me.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. So you have a 20-year-old daughter.
I do.
Which seems unbelievable how you can have a 20-year-old daughter. You don't look over 28.
Thank you.
So what has it been like to be a mom in recovery? Because for, I would imagine, the first 6 years you were active.
I was.
And now the last 14 years you're clean.
I am. Yeah. It's an interesting ride. It has been filled with lots of ups and downs. When I first came down here, my plan was never to stay. My plan was to come here for sober living and go back to Colorado so that I could be an active participant in my daughter's life. And then when I got down here, Who was raising your daughter? So she was with her father, and my grandmother was also like helping take care of her. My sisters, it's like in a Japanese family, like the entire family kind of comes together.
Yeah.
But so, when I first got down here, I had no intentions of staying, and then it just played out that, this was the place for me, right? This is where I was going to be most successful in my recovery. So I didn't get a lot of time with her, and it took years of, going back to court to get another week, to get a weekend, and it was a very slow process. It was humbling.
How did she respond to you in that?
She wanted to be with me right? Like, it's always that, like, I want my parents around, but she wanted me to move back, right? And she was so young at that time. She was like 6, 7, 8 years old. And, you know, it's confusion and I'm sure abandonment and why doesn't my mom love me? If she loved me enough, maybe she'd move back. I mean, and these are some of the things that she would ask, right? And so it was hard to, how do you explain to a young kid, you know, 7, 8, 9 years old about recovery, about addiction, and about why you're not coming home, right? So it's been up and down. You know, she moved out here because she started having her own behavioral issues, and my ex didn't know really, he wasn't really well equipped to deal with it. So she came out here, I think she was like 10 or 11. And I don't know what it is with middle school, but any parent I've ever talked to, anytime their child enters middle school, they come out a different human being, and it's not great, right? So you've got this hormonal teenager who's just trying on different skins, trying to figure out who she is, where she belongs, what friend group, what are her interests, right? And so it was tough.
And also separating from mom, I want to be independent.
Yes.
I don't need...
Gosh, her autonomy. I have this conversation with Tommy all the time. I'm like, I don't know what to do with her. He's like, she needs autonomy. And I'm like, what? She doesn't know up from down.
Yeah.
Like, I can't let her fall on her face. And so I helicopter mommed and micromanaged and overcompensated for all the ways that my mom didn't show up in my life, right? So, and it pushed her away. Like, it drove her to act out, and, you know, she started vaping and then dabbling with marijuana.
So you're saying that's because you were helicoptering?
I think so. I don't know. I know that, you know, if I could do it over again, I would not be so controlling, right? I wouldn't be so, like, let me make sure you know how to live your life, right? And let her make her own mistakes. I do a lot better with it now. Like, we have a wonderful relationship because I've taken that step back, right? Like, this is her journey. I'm not here to tell her how to live her life. I can support her and I can give her my recommendations, almost like a sponsor, right? Like, I can give you a suggestion. If you take it, great. If not, that's okay too. I'm just here to support, right? You know, and our relationship is absolutely night and day different today, you know.
Well, you know, one of the things that you said was you were going to give your daughter what your mother didn't give you.
Yeah.
Your mother didn't give you something.
A lot.
A lot. And you're a drug addict and alcoholic.
Yeah.
You gave your daughter everything.
Yes.
And
she, almost the same situation happened. Yeah.
So I don't know if you have control over outcomes.
Oh, I have zero control.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest lesson, right? And you hear it in the rooms, right? You have no control over anything. But in parenting, I was like, I have to have control, right? There has to be some semblance.
So you give yourself justification to go against. Yeah.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Well, you know, I can't control shit, right? And when I stop trying to control, like, she flourishes and leads an amazing life. Like, she's back here with me. You know, she had her own trial and tribulations that she was walking through, right? And in those times that were difficult and challenging for her, you know, periods of some traumatic things happened to her because of, you know, people that were around her, right? And I was able to, like, show up for her and be a support.
But even with those things that happened, you know, so you can't take away that they happened.
Right.
They did happen.
Right.
So when, what I'm thinking about, when those kind of things happen with me, those are all opportunities for me to grow.
Correct.
So I don't even look at them as bad things, because if I look at it as bad things, then that's really negative.
Right.
It's an opportunity to grow.
Absolutely.
And so she's been given all of these opportunities to grow, and it sounds like she's flourishing.
She is. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you, right? Like, there's no bad things that happen. There are just experiences in life, right? And they are, every single one of them, good, bad, and different, all opportunities to grow. Try telling that to a 20-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to do it in a very, like, step-backed way of, like, hey, like, you know, I know this really shitty thing happened to you. One, let me remind you that you are still a good person. Like, you still are inherently good. There is nothing inherently bad about you. Life is just lifey, right? But then also trying to like help her understand, you know, we can change, right? You can grow from this. Like, you are not the worst thing that's ever happened to you, right? Which is how I lived my life for a very long time, as I embodied like the worst things that happened to me. Just, I was inherently bad, and that's why I was unlovable, and that's why mom, you know, became a drug addict, and dad was an alcoholic, right? And all this stuff I learned in therapy, by the way, right? And self-discovery and all the fun stuff. But you know, it's cool that I can like be a person who kind of presents that for my daughter.
Is
right?
your daughter in recovery or
no?
anything
She's not in recovery.
Yeah.
She doesn't drink. She doesn't smoke. She vapes, but like she
Let
doesn't.
me ask you. Okay, I'm going to ask you the question one more time.
Yeah.
Is your daughter in recovery?
No, she is not.
Okay, because I'm going to say she is in recovery.
Really?
She's recovering from a mom who left her for whatever reason. She is, you know, recovery comes in all forms. It isn't just about drug use.
I'm so glad you were presenting
because
it
she's
like
in
that.
a process of getting something back which was lost. I lost my mother. I'm recovering my mother in my life, in that relationship, in that love. And some of those things that I didn't get as a child, or I didn't get regularly as a child, my mom shows up for me now.
Right.
She's consistent. She's reliable.
Right.
I'm recovering. She's recovering all of that stuff. And I would imagine she might be in some kind of counseling or therapy, or has been.
She has been. Yeah.
So, I mean, she doesn't have to, you know, it's almost like a mom or a dad who doesn't do drugs and has a son and daughter who does. And the son and daughter go to AA and the mom and dad go to Al-Anon. Well, they're in recovery.
Right.
You know, so any child of an addict who's improving their life, I would say, is in recovery.
Yeah.
And recovery is a good word. It's a positive word. It's not a negative kind of something that's, you know, has a negative stigma to it. It's positive.
Right. I'm so excited to go home and tell her.
Yeah.
So, like, you're in recovery. I love that you presented it that way.
You're in recovery whether you like it or not. Because you're getting better.
I forget, right? Like, I get so quick to just answer a question rather than asking, well, let me ask you, like, define recovery. And I love that you define recovery that way because it's more inclusive.
And I also think you, your daughter, me, you can define recovery whatever way you want. For me, as an addict, my recovery has to start with abstinence.
Right.
So I need to abstain from all drugs. That'll get me in the door of recovery.
Right.
But other people that don't have my condition, their recovery could be something else. And even somebody with my condition, I believe abstinence comes first, but whatever way you do it is as valid. When I first got into recovery, I was pretty rigid. Oh, you have to do it this way. You got to go to meetings. You got to do this.
Yeah. 90 and 90. Call your sponsor every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the dilemma winds up, well, what is addiction?
Right.
You know, so when we look at smoking, gambling, sex, sugar, food, relationships, shopping, money.
So
we don't get into this recovery and on day one we've stopped everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would imagine most people are addicted to sugar.
Oh yeah.
And don't even really realize it.
Yeah.
You know. So anybody who if we had everyone get off sugar today, you know, there would be lots of people in withdrawal tomorrow or the day after.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
Oh my, it would just be. First, I was going to say it would be terrible. Oh, it would be wonderful if they just took all the sugar away.
What if people stopped drinking caffeine, like no coffee? What if you took coffee away? Could you imagine?
So you know what? When we talk about sugar and gambling and this, unconsciously in my mind, I said, I hope they don't bring up coffee because I don't want to give up coffee.
I know.
I'll give the other stuff, but I don't want to give up coffee.
Yeah,
and
never
coffee
the
is something
caffeine
I'm
in
going to lie
coffee.
about. You know, like when somebody asks, well, how many cups of coffee do you drink a day? One and a half.
Two.
1 or 2, but they're 6 ounces.
Yeah, 7 espresso shots later.
But I usually do. I do 4, honestly, 4 6-ounce
Yeah.
coffees. But I can remember a time when I would do those venti things from Starbucks, a couple of them a day. It was crazy.
Caffeine's always been a problem for me.
Caffeine's a problem.
Yeah.
And then I think money is a problem.
Yeah.
I've been able to kind of manage the money thing, so I'm not obsessed with money and getting more money. But caffeine and sugar are probably the most difficult.
Money's a big one for me too. I mean, coming from, the environment that I grew up in, like I didn't have anything. I mean, I was stealing from the grocery store to get food for my sisters, right?
Yeah.
Like we just had nothing. So now that like, I'm pretty successful, I can pay for things. It's as if this like, there's no thought. I'm like, oh, if I want that, I'm going to get it because I worked my ass off. Like there's this sense of entitlement that I constantly have to keep in check because I'll put myself into debt. I'll rack up all my credit cards and I didn't know. So when I got my very first credit card, I got this little rush and I was like, oh, wow, I have credit. So then for the next like 3 years, I went and opened like 12 different credit cards.
Yeah, you've arrived.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, everybody's giving me credit. And then I'm like, let me see how much credit that they'll give me. And so I'm like asking for credit. It was like such a sick little game, but just to talk about like addictions spilling over into different aspects of our lives, it doesn't have to be with just a substance.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's in everything I do. Even with my training, sometimes I'll just get so addicted to it. And I'm like, I need to run 20 miles on my recovery day, right? I have to schedule mandatory rest days in my training blocks because if you let me, I'm going to go. I'm going to just keep going.
You're going to overdo it.
Yeah, I'll run myself into the ground.
Yeah. So let me ask you something just to, because we didn't cover this.
Yeah.
You work in the field now.
I do.
Yeah. What do you do?
So I work on the administrative end for Guardian Recovery. The way I got into this field is I wanted to give back and I wanted to be a part of someone's journey, right? I wanted to be a beacon of hope. And so my career started in admissions. So I was the director of admissions at another treatment center, and then I switched over to here. I was the director of admissions here at Guardian Recovery for a few years, and then an administrative role opened up, and I moved over to that. And, I kind of work behind the scenes, making sure that everything's operating as it should.
So you wanted to be able to give to others. You now give to many. And you are so reliable as an employee, as a person to work. I mean, this place is lucky to have you.
Thank you.
I mean, you do such a good job. And you seem to like your job.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. And I love the people that I work with.
So can I tell you, I like it when you just said that. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I would say you're very good at it.
Thank you, Michael.
But pretty good is better, is
better than how we started.
Yeah. And you are doing great. And it's been a pleasure for me to get to know you.
Oh, likewise.
And I got to tell you, this experience today has been absolutely great. So this has been wonderful. I think we're going to end now. Because you don't, I don't know, can people find you on Instagram or anything? if I don't know if they want to follow you and what you're doing, or
I mean, I'm actually taking a hiatus from Instagram. I've deactivated all of my social media accounts temporarily. Well, I'm trying to do a cleanse. I want to detach from digital and be more present. So following me isn't really an option at the moment.
Or maybe they can follow you at meetings.
Sure.
Find out what meetings Danielle's going
just
to.
Wave at me.
Hey, aren't you the gal that was on the podcast? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was great having you here, Danielle.
Thank you for having me.
And,
thank you for helping me grow and helping me push past an edge.
This has been great for me too, because I'm nervous doing these podcasts, and it's great to sit with somebody and do this kind of back and forth talk.
Yeah.
So I really, this is really great.
Well, don't look nervous, and
Yeah.
you didn't act nervous at all. So thank you for having me.
All right, I'm faking it. This episode is sponsored by Guardian Recovery. If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction or mental health challenges, Guardian can help. Visit guardianrecovery.com or call the number below for confidential support and guidance.